Hello and welcome to another year, fourth consecutive year actually, of 15 days of breakaway roping. I am your host, Jordan Jo Hollabaugh, and I am so excited to bring you our fourth consecutive 15 days of breakaway. I keep saying it, I just pinch myself. I love this time of year. It's a little better than Christmas for me because we get to talk about breakaway roping all day long for 15 straight days. Kind of a big deal. And, I'm just so excited. Over the past 3 years of doing this, we've had over 75,000 people listen to this specific series. So I just want to say a huge shout out to all of our listeners out there. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for helping In the Loop podcast grow. This year is going to be great. I think probably the greatest year ever. Absolutely. We have some really cool things coming down the pike. And I just want to say a huge shout out to our partners this year because I absolutely could not do this without them. This series of 15 Days of Breakaway 2024 is brought to you by Wrangler. Wrangler butts drive you nuts. And we also have other partners such as Patterson Garage and Trailer Repair in Springtown, Texas, Rattler Ropes, Pro Fantasy Rodeo. Go get that breakaway team, y'all. WRWC, the Women's Rodeo World Championships. We've got some really cool questions coming, Fancy's Burning Questions. And Rodeo Now. Upload all of your rodeo videos and have them in one place. I'm excited to be a part of this year's 15 Days of Breakaway. It's really special to me. So thank you guys again for listening. If you have any questions for me, or if you would like to give us any input, I would love to know what you think about these breakaway roping series episodes. And if you have any breakaway roping questions, period, email me at jordan@inthelooppodcast.co. And I will get back to you and answer all of your questions. Make sure you share these episodes with all of your friends. We appreciate your guys' support and helping In the Loop podcast grow. So with no further avail, let's get to it. 15 Days of Breakaway 2024. Here we come. Okay, guys, so we are here with another episode of the 15 Days of Breakaway 2024 brought to you by Wrangler. We love our partners at Wrangler, and we are here today with our number 14 qualifier, Miss Rylee George, coming in with $81,956.95 rodeos. Rylee, thanks for coming to the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So congratulations on your inaugural NFBR qualification. It says you're a rookie on here. I really don't feel like you're a rookie because you've been around for quite some time. Talk a little bit about what it feels like to have that first NFBR under your belt and what you're looking forward to at the NFBR this year.
Oh, it feels great. Last year being my rookie year and then not doing so well. And then this year I got a different horse and he fit me really well. So this year I'm glad to be at the NFBR this year.
Well, and you had a really good year. It says you went to 95 different rodeos. And, I remember I have two memories. One I'll share with you a little bit later, but my favorite memory, you started the year off with a bang at Guyman, and that's such a cool rodeo. We got to rope 2 there this year. Talk a little bit about that rodeo and the history there and kind of starting your year off.
Yeah, Guyman, it's one of my favorite rodeos just because it's a longer score with walking fresh calves, and you got to go run them down and get them, and that's what I like to do more so.
Talk about your rodeos. And I just want you guys to know Rylee might be one of the most serious breakaway ropers ever, but I'm going to tell you this story. So we were at Stephenville at JJ Hampton's roping, and every time I've seen Rylee, she hardly ever cracks a smile. She's like all business in the front, business on the side, business in the back. She's business. And so we were sitting there watching the start, and she was standing up against the alleyway where the calves were leading in. And she didn't think anybody was watching. And this calf run up behind her and I don't know if he was sniffing your butt or if he was licking your butt or what was going on, but he definitely hit her butt. And she kind of jumped and smiled. And I just happened to be looking at her and we made eye contact. And that's the first time I've ever seen Rylee George laugh. So that was a win. But you are very, very serious. Talk about where your competitive nature comes from. I know that probably behind the scenes with your traveling partners, it gets a little more laid back, but you are straight business. So where does that competitive nature come from for you?
Oh yeah, I travel with Cheyenne McCartney, and she's all business too. And then my parents are super competitive. Whether I was playing soccer or basketball when I was little, it was either you're all in or you don't play. So been competitive since I was little.
Yeah. And it says here you're from Oakdale, California. Talk about what it's been like growing up in California, you take the California circuit as your circuit. Has that been a challenge in rodeo? Has that been an advantage? Talk to me a little bit about that coming from California and pro rodeo and choosing that as your career.
Yeah, back home, everywhere. I mean, our fast times are 2:04 out there just because you got to see a good start and then go run and get them. And then California being my circuit, we got a low rodeo count for if you're a resident, so that makes it easier to make the circuit finals at least to get your rodeo count in. So that's why I enjoy going back out there and still getting to see my family when I go back home also.
And the California rodeos, I have not yet been out there. I'm excited to go out there, hopefully this year. They are iconic, prestigious, really, really, really neat setups. Talk a little bit about those setups from California to where we roped all year long, the different starts. What's your game plan going into all those different rodeos? Do you kind of just have the same game plan no matter what? Do you try to go about it a little different? How do you work through that?
I try to go with the same game plan everywhere I go, just see the best start I can see and use the calf that I drew. And then just wherever we're at, obviously it changes the starts, but I just try to keep that same game plan.
Talk a little bit about your horses. You said you got some new horsepower this year. Tell me what's in your trailer and how have they made a difference to get you to your first NFBR?
This year I started out at the winter rodeos riding Deputy, and he's just as solid gets. He's really simple. There's not really much to him. And then all summer I rode a horse named Royce. That this is his first summer going rodeoing, and actually last summer was the first time he ever run a calf on him. So he was really good all summer, and he's more of a freer horse, so he was easier to keep good on the road without being able to practice.
Yeah, and that leads to our fan question, which was Royce has been a game changer for you this year. What does he do that gives you confidence?
I would say the best thing he does is I never have to worry about him taking my throw away or getting tight or anything like that. He's gonna run to the calf every time, and I'll never have to worry about that.
Yeah. And he does. I think it's really, really cool to watch Royce in his stop. He is like dragging his butt and pedaling his front feet. It's pretty neat to see. And yeah, I mean, he can run across that line very fast, so he makes it happen.
Yeah, he's got a different style than most. Just he doesn't cut the rope off maybe as fast as the others, but he'll give you a throw every time.
Talk a little bit about the box. So one of the things I admire about you is not only do you have ice in your veins, but in the box, sometimes Royce pats his front feet. I haven't ever really seen him move, but he does move his front feet. So is that something that distracts you, or how do you get through that? Do you just trust that he's going to stand there? Talk me through that just a little bit.
Yeah, he'll back in there, and he doesn't really jump around much, but his front feet will always be moving. And at first, it kind of threw me off, but I've run him so many times now that he'll always start like that, and he might not be sitting still, but he's looking at the calf, and he'll go whenever you tell him to go.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's cool to hear, just everybody knows so much about their horses. Like if somebody else were to get on Royce, they might think, oh no, he's going to run out of here. But you have so much confidence in him knowing he's going to do it, but he's going to see at the start. I want to see.
Yeah, he'll stay good. He's not just solid, but he's getting better and better every run I run him.
That's good. So tell me a little bit about Deputy too. I know we saw you ride him a little bit this year as well. Brought him back at Albuquerque, had a really big win there. That horse came from Trevor Brazil originally. He's been to the NFR before in the tie down. Have you tied down on Deputy? I don't remember if I saw you tie down on him.
I tied down on him 1 year at the WPA finals.
How did that go?
I believe I won the round that night.
No big
deal. I
rode
him on one calf. I rode him on one calf, and it was a third round, and I believe I was 10 something on him.
She's also a tie down roper, y'all. It's pretty fun. The WPRA finals is coming up here, and that is the main highlight, I think, of everybody's week. There is basically the all girls tie down. If you haven't watched it, you should. Kind of a big deal. So talk a little bit about Deputy coming from Trevor. Did that give you confidence on that horse, knowing he's been to the NFR? Will you ride him? Will you ride Royce? What are you planning on busting out there?
Right now, I'm planning on riding Royce, but things might change while I'm there, and I might end up on Deputy. But Deputy's the same run every time, and I mean he backs in the corner and he don't move. He's all business for sure.
Everybody's going to be all business. Sometime you're going to have a piece of cake or something. Broke up your business, but not me. So tell me a little bit about what's in your rope bag, what you're roping with. Do you change throughout the year? What size are you using? And why are you using that?
I use Viper Tenos all year and everywhere I go. Uh, they change throughout the summer and stuff, but nothing I would say that makes me want to change from them to something else. But that's what I'll be using in Vegas also.
And I think it's pretty neat. I think 12 out of the 15 of these girls are using Rattler ropes, Vipers. I know Martha Angeloni and Maddie Dearman sometimes use the red ropes a little bit, but it's pretty cool to see 12 out of the 15 girls are using the same kind of rope. Says a little bit about them. But I think for me, I use a little bit of different size, but you're sticking with the 10-0. When you were roping at Guyman, was the wind blowing? And is it hard to rope with a little rope in the wind? I would know this. I'm from Canyon. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I would say if you had a 9.0 or a 9.5 right there, it would dang sure be hard to get into the calf. But I feel like the 10.0 stays pretty good whether it's windy or it's not windy, and it's not like the 10.25 where it feels like you're dragging your arm down for me.
Oh, thanks. So you're saying that I'm dragging my arm down when I'm using a 10-2?
No, I mean it hurts my arm to swing them things.
Maybe you need to lift some more weights. I mean, come on now. Okay, y'all, I am excited to talk to you about Rodeo Now. It is your one-stop shop livestock app with all of the demand on the rodeo actions. Want to show off your best rides? There's plenty of social media apps for that. But at Rodeo Now, we're building the rodeo community by sharing all of our rides and our runs. Whether it's one of your best rides or one of those rides that just got the best of you. When you upload to Rodeo Now, you're helping your fellow riders discover stock that they might drop. There's no community like the rodeo community. Join Rodeo Now and help build that community together. Talk about your traveling partner, Cheyenne McCartney. I got to rodeo with Cheyenne a couple years ago as well. She is 200% straight business, maybe more business than you. What are some of the things that you learned from her? She's a veteran, been in the NFBR several times. What are some of the things that you learned from her going with her this year?
Oh yeah, every rodeo, I mean, she's got a game plan for everyone, and she knows what to expect, and she never loses her cool at the rodeo. So she backs in the box and is all business and makes great runs a lot of the time.
Yeah. What were a couple of your favorite rodeos that you went to this year that you hadn't been to before?
I didn't get to enter Salinas last year. I really liked Salinas, and I also liked Cody this year also.
Yeah, you had a great run at Cody. It is so fun there when you get to back in the box at 8 a.m. You're not sure whether it's going to be, 40 and windy and rainy or 40 and maybe some sunshine, but it's always a little crisp at Cody.
Yeah, but it was good weather this year for sure.
It was good weather this year. We had some really good calves, good weather. It starts off your 4th of July. Talk us through your year. Like I said, I know you had a big win at Guyman, but talk us through your year. You were really consistent all year long. Was there, I know there's always highs and lows in rodeo. If you could summarize the year you had this year, how would you do that?
Gosh, I would say the winter rodeos I won a little bit, but they were pretty slow for me. And then Guyman kind of set it off where I got a big win there, and then kind of plucked along before we left home. And then June was a little slow, but July was really good for me. When I feel like that's when I really started to figure out my horse.
Yeah.
And then it started going up from there.
And then you finished the year at Sioux Falls. That's one thing that, as we're talking on this 15 days of Breakaway, from 15th to 11th, we were all right there on the bubble. It shuffled around so many different times in the last couple weeks. So what was your strategy? You hear the bubble. I say 11th through shoot, I think 20th. We were all jam packed right there, so tight with money won. Really, literally anything could have happened with the amount of money we're getting to run at these rodeos, especially Sioux Falls being a huge key player. So what was your game plan going into that last month, knowing that you got to go to Sioux Falls? Mandan was huge, just some different things like that. What was your game plan, and how are you feeling about the bubble watch, as they say?
That last month, I was pedal to the metal trying to get to everywhere I could. It feels like, and there at the end, I was just trying to get a check everywhere. And having Sioux Falls, when I got to Sioux Falls, I told myself just win any sort of check. It doesn't matter which one, just any sort of check there.
Yeah, and the money was huge there. I think, last in the round was like a little over 3,000, 4,000. So it was huge. You walked away with over 12,000 there, clinched your title. What was it like on that ride home from Sioux Falls?
It was great. Actually, I missed my second calf at Sioux Falls, so that night I was breaking it down with Jill Tanner whether or not I needed to fly to Poway or I could go home. And after we figured out I could go home, that drive home was a lot shorter, and it was a good time.
Let's talk a little bit about rodeo family and friends. They are huge in the things that we do. Jill Tanner, you said was helping you break it down. She was also helping me break it down. We're numbers people, so we were going through the numbers and had our sheets and all the things figured out. What are some of the key takeaways that you think have made a difference having people like that around you and in your corner?
Oh, for sure. This year is my second year, so I mean, I feel like I knew a lot more people out there, and it never fails. You always need help when you're out there. So it's great to have multiple people out there that would help you and are good friends out there to have also.
What were two things, your favorite memory inside the arena this year and your favorite memory outside of the arena?
I would say my favorite memory in the arena this year was my first calf at Sioux Falls. I placed second in the round there. And then outside the arena, I would just say I hung out with Montana and Tiffany a bunch, and we got to see some cool things. We went and toured around Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and so that was a good time getting away from rodeo a little bit.
Coeur d'Alene is one of the prettiest places in the whole entire world. It is like one of my favorite rodeos to go to, just because of the location is beautiful, the hospitality is amazing, and it's just such a neat little rodeo there. So what did you guys do in Coeur d'Alene?
We went and ate at some good restaurants, and then we ended up renting a boat and staying on the lake all day and tubing.
There you go. Look at you. Did you wear a swimsuit?
I did.
I figured you might show up in full PRCA dress code. Not sure. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to play a couple little games here. No big deal. We're going to start out with the Women's Rodeo World Championships. We have a new element this year that is called Fancy's Burning Questions. And the way it works is I'm going to ask you 10 questions. And for every question you answer, you get 10 virtual rodeo qualifier bucks. So you're going to end up with $100 here that's going to be in your WCRA account to go and nominate your next rodeo. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What is your favorite type of music?
I would say country music.
Who do you text the most?
My mom.
What's your favorite brand of jeans?
Cinch.
Wrangler. What's your favorite summer rodeo?
Cody.
What was your last Google search? Be honest.
Dodge dealership because my check engine light came on today.
Oh no. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Probably run this town.
There you go. I'd like to see you sing karaoke.
It's not very good.
What skill are you proud of?
Oh gosh. Roping.
If you could be invisible for one day, what would you do?
Probably read people's texts behind their back.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what is the best rodeo prank you've ever done?
Oh gosh. My rookie year, we traveled with Josie Murphy, and I set those firecracker fireworks off under her when she was sitting in a chair.
So you're a prankster is what you're saying. Watch out when Rylee George comes around.
Yeah.
Okay, and if your breakaway horse could talk, what would he say to you?
He would probably say, give me a break, please."
95 rodeos, man. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the rodeo count. You went to 95 this past year. This upcoming year, it's 80. So what's your strategy going to look like, and what's going to be different for this next year?
Yeah, I went through my rodeo count, which ones I went last year, and I made some cuts, but pretty much when I went through them, if it didn't pay more than 3,000 to win it, then I kind of just exited out.
You exit out. That's a good plan. Are you staying with your same circuit, or did you switch circuits?
Yeah, I'm staying with California circuit.
Okay, perfect. It's a good circuit out there. See in California.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna play a little bit of pro fantasy too. You said last year you played pro fantasy breakaway roping. What was that like? And how did you pick your team last year? Did you win anything?
I did not win anything last year, but I kind of did put my team together last minute. But this year when I play, I feel like it'll be better because I watched everybody all year, and I'll be able to dang sure pick the people that were winning all year long.
Yeah, be able to strategize there. Did you just have, I mean, buying a team is literally $24.95 per team. So I mean, I feel like we're risk takers anyway. We like to, take some chances. So are you going to just do one team? Are you going to do 3 or 4 teams? What does that look like?
I will probably do 3 or 4 teams. I know last year I did 3, and just I didn't change them up a ton. Pretty much the same people, just in different order I chose.
Yeah. Well, I like that strategy. And I mean, hey, it'd be pretty good to walk away with another 10,000 in our pocket for, the next rodeos we're going to enter.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, last and final question here for you, Rylee. Who do you look up to and why?
I look up to my dad just because he's a hard worker and he's always there if I need him, and pretty much phone call away whenever my roping turns bad or something, or I need to talk about my rope, and he's there for it.
Well, I love that. And having those people that are in your corner definitely makes a huge difference. Congratulations, Rylee George, on making your first NFBR qualification 2024. Good luck at Vegas, and thank you for joining us on 15 Days of Breakaway.
Thank you for having me.